Okay, so this is going to be a follow-up to the EVINRUDE E-TEC G2, the 300 horsepower motor that we had some issues with last year. BRP replaced the powerhead, and I've run it about 60 hours, well, probably about 70 hours so far. Haven't had any issues. Had a couple cooling issues, but they were more, I think, some leftover problems from the last issue we had. So you go to blue 15047's YouTube page. There's a video on the problems we were having. So what I'm going to do now is just start it up, let y'all hear how quiet this thing is. Alright, so that's the motor running in idle. And there's the motor. 300 EVINRUDE G2. One of the nice features is all your steering and control is internal, so it definitely helps with being in salt water. We're pulling the tube today. Gonna have a little bit of fun doing that. And let me get this camera real quick. Let me show you a few things. Since I have a single motor application, I just have I guess the base display for my 300, and if you can see, several different screens. This is the basic screen that you turn on, and it's got your miles an hour, your percent trim, your RPM, and your fuel. Alright, so that's your home screen. Press it once and you get your bigger display, basically the same stuff. I had the water pressure sensor added, something that BRP did because some of the issues that we had, so they went ahead and added that for me, which I've always liked, especially with the saltwater application. Kind of gives you an idea if you're sucking sand in or if your impeller's not pumping water. So right now, 590 RPM, 3 mile an hour, 6 psi, and it gives you the trim. I had an auxiliary oil tank added, so that is what that one is. We've got engine oil, auxiliary oil, and then I've only got one fuel tank on here. If I had another one, it's capable of displaying that as well. Press that again, get your miles per gallon, your range, your remaining gallons, percent of throttle. That gets you back to that screen, so that toggles between the two. And then this one gives your motor temperature, how many gallons you're using per hour, voltage on your batteries, of course how many hours we have now on the motors, 105 hours on the new powerhead. Then it tells you if there's any faults. No faults. Let me get back. You can, a couple different modes. Trim assist, which actually trims the motor for you. Winterization, you just push a button and it winterizes the motor for you. And power steering assist, which of course changes the amount of power steering assistance that it gives you at throttle. And the toggle between those, it's up and down, trim assist, off, on, power steering, minimum, medium, maximum. I have it set to minimum. Another thing I had added was the throttle control. It's good for trolling. If you're trolling and you're trying to get that optimal speed, if you look over here, as I press throttle up or down, increase your RPM, or lower your RPM. Another nice feature, if you run the boat when it's cold, if you have it in neutral, there's my control. If you have it in neutral, push the neutral button, and then you can rev the motor up. Of course, you're not in gear. Since the last video, for those that aren't familiar with it, we had some powerhead failure. Motor had about 20 hours on it. So since then, Denver Marine has totally stepped up and made sure that the boat was right. Had a brand new powerhead installed, BRP, threw in a couple extra goodies for the problems I was having. Like I said, the water pressure sensor and the throttle control. So far, like I said, haven't had any other problems. Right now, the water temperature on Blues is about 91 degrees. Some spots it's about 94 degrees. Sometimes when we're playing on the tube, running in the hot water, the engine does get warm, and it gives you a code that doesn't shut it off or put it in limp mode, but it slows you. Basically tells you to slow down and let the motor cool off. But that, like I said, is kind of expected when the water temperature is almost 100 degrees. So, but there's that, and we'll have some other videos of the tube, and maybe show you the trim assist, how it works, how it's all automatic. So here we go. Okay, so right now we're getting ready to take off. As you can see, the trim is 0%. The temperature is 154. So we're gonna give it some throttle. You can watch the trim. It's all automatic. I'm not doing anything with the trim control.
Two issues that were highlighted in the original video. One was a failure with the ground cable to the motor. The other was power head failure that I believe they said was occurred during the manufacturing process. But either way, since then the motor has 100 hours on it. 105 hours, as of this video, and we haven't had any other problems. A lot of the comments from the other video were talking about how EVINRUDE isn't a good motor and everything. I can tell you from the experience that I have had with EVINRUDE and Denver Marine, BRP, I wouldn't hesitate to buy another G2. Just because every once in a while you're going to get a lemon, and BRP, Denver Marine stepped up as much as any consumer could ask for to correct the problem. As I said, I wouldn't hesitate to put a G2 on my next boat, and I don't think that it should be anything to scare anyone away. Find me a motor manufacturer that comes out with a motor that hasn't had issues, bugs that get worked out. Same thing with automobiles. It's just one of those things. You're going to have bugs, and like I said, how they take care of those problems is the measure of the company. And BRP and Denver Marine have really won my loyalty. So I hope you like these videos, and there'll be plenty more showcasing what this 300 can do. And subscribe, and we'll see you soon.